What's going on, guys? Trader Kaz here. Happy FOMC day. We had some insane volatility in the markets, equities and crypto alike. Started off, what was that, yesterday? I'm on the 1 minute chart, so it always throws me off. A little bit of a rally into FOMC, 11 o'clock on the dot. Nuke, pumped, took out all the highs. Anyone who shorted that move and has just absolutely gotten destroyed since then. Crypto hasn't dropped as much relative as the SPX, as the S&P 500 has, whatever you want to call it. Some people would call that crypto strength. I would call that crypto lagging behind. I do think crypto catches up. I think things look quite bearish right now. Obviously, that can change, but let's jump into it. So what we were looking for, my game plans for FOMC, very simple, based off of Monday's range. If you guys have been watching my videos for a long time, you know I love Monday's range. I use it in my trading every single week. We came up, took out Monday's high, tagged the monthly open to the tick, and nuked. I was on my computer trying to get into shorts. I had FTX and Bybit both open, and my FTX orders were not going through, kept getting errors. I was able to short this on Bybit, but my average entry ended up being around, I think it was 19.7. Closed it out right after the spike, not at the Pico bottom or anything like that. I ended up closing most of it around here. When we have super high volatility like that, I kind of like to get in and out. Don't give the market a chance to take your profit back. So what do we have now? This setup played out. I'm going to delete this. I will say my outlook overall is bearish right now. I do think this could be like a possible scalp long, but it's so hard for me to be bullish when equities look like this. Because whether you like it or not, we are still correlated with equities. This candle looks disgusting. Crypto doesn't look quite as bad, but I would almost think on a day that this happens, Bitcoin goes down like sub 18K. So we'll see what happens. I am in a couple altcoin shorts. I'm not short Bitcoin right now, but there are some alts that I think look particularly weak that I would like to short, and I'll talk about those a little bit in this video. I'm going to try and keep it under 10 minutes because I know you guys like the quick videos. But overall bias is a bit bearish, but that doesn't mean there can't be any like counter trend bounces. I would be willing to do that around Monday's low on Bitcoin. Similarly, Monday's low on Ethereum. But this would be pretty short term. I would probably just be targeting like the weekly open. Excuse me. I don't want to get too greedy, especially if I'm playing what I believe is counter trend. But if we look at a lot of these daily pictures, guys, like this looks pretty cooked, right? I would expect it to at least stab down to like 1200-ish. This also looks pretty bad. Like if I do this, so I can keep the chart clean, but this was like our big support, right? And we just tried to bounce from it, and we swept the last 2 days highs, and now we're getting rejected bigly, and equities are also getting rejected. So like this daily also looks pretty bad. Sol, it's just been in this tight little downtrend, also took out the last 2 days highs. We will talk about Luna Classic, and then some of the alts that I think look particularly weak: Algo, Atom, YFI. Just these spike ups, took out some stops from the last 2 days, and on the verge of losing some major support. This one specifically, I tweeted out a chart of this, but like this structure continuously making higher lows. There have been like no stop runs since June for like 3 months. I mean, you could say like, oh, you know, this took out yesterday's and this one did that, but from like a bigger picture standpoint, like if I pull up a 3-day or something, these wicks are all higher lows. And that grind up has been super successful, but if this starts to roll over, I think it starts taking out some of these lows pretty quickly. And, you know, it's not like this instills a bunch of confidence in me, right? This atom isn't even trading near Monday's high, whereas a bunch of other stuff took out Monday's high. This just spiked up into the weekly open, got rejected. I am currently short atom with a stop up here. I don't think there's any reason we need to go back above that wick. And I am short YFI with a similar stop, top of that wick. But if we zoom in on this, and I should clean this up a little bit because, man, it looks dirty. In the top half of Monday's range, you can see price was just compressing this whole time. Or not really compressing. I don't know what the right word is. It was just ranging there, I guess you could say. All these wicks up, we're getting rejected. Wicks to this downside, we're getting rejected. And we were just trading in this super tight range. Until today, we get that big spike up. And massive rejection. I don't think there's any reason we should go back up there. I don't even think there's a reason we should break this 8530 level, which is based off the daily time frame, right? The initial close, this was support here, 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 and it looks like we're just rejecting on that. So now I would kind of assume this comes down to like 6,900. Origin of this pump, there's some demand there. I think it looks like a good short. So I think that looks like a good short. I think Atom, if this starts rolling over, I mean, I think it's in for a ride, especially if this doesn't make some massive recovery, right? And I will say I am going to keep an eye on this, because if this does somehow pump up for whatever reason, get back above Monday's low, this would look like a decent near-term bottom. But with how things stand right now, you can't really be bullish on this, right? Like, if this does pump, people will be like, haha, you thought that was bearish, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, looking at it right now, it absolutely is. If this pumps up to 38.30 and gets back above Monday's low, I will be exiting any shorts that I'm in, right? Like, I think the market will look pretty good if it does that, at least for like a rally up to here. But that doesn't mean like, oh, long-term bottom, everything's okay now. Fed raised rates by 75 basis points. Powell didn't sound particularly bullish, but the market tells you that. You know, I don't need to explain that today didn't go well. You can just look at this. But I'm also not going to pretend like I'm the absolute expert for everything the Fed says and does. So those are kind of the main things I'm watching. Sol took out Monday's high basically to the tick. We had been holding the monthly open, and this was kind of a nice triple tap setup, right? Where we come make a low on the monthly open, deviate it down here, pump, retest it, and you got a nice pump up to Monday's high. I did not take that trade. I'm simply saying in hindsight, well, and I did see it earlier, but I wasn't really interested in. I saw it yesterday around here, and I was like, you know what, this looks like it could come up, but I'm not too interested in trading around FOMC. So, or at least before FOMC. Like, Bitcoin came into my level during FOMC, so I went for it. But I think that pretty much does it. Forgot to do this at the beginning of the video. Shout out Bybit, sponsors of the stream. They still are doing the 1,000 USDT promotion, so if you use my link, deposit 1,000 USDT, you can get a $1,000 bonus that you can trade with. You can't withdraw it, but if you trade it, withdraw the profits, then you can withdraw the profits. So shout out to them. All the links and instructions for that are in the description. And then if you guys haven't subscribed already, we're pushing for that 10K mark. So that's going to do it. Let's see if equities can recover. Bearish case would be invalidated if these lows are recovered, and I think the rest is pretty well laid out. So I'll talk to you guys soon in the next video. Peace.